arrest, Secretary General Raphael Nakachinda did give a directive that no Patriotic Front member or any other member must be able to publicly endorse candidates before the party goes for a convention. But why do other members seem to be in discipline? Or are they undermining the authority in the Patriotic Front? Is going to be joining me right after this. Thank you so much for still staying with us. We are looking at the wrangles in the Patriotic Front and the future of the former ruling party. Will the Patriotic Front be given back to the quote-unquote true owners, or perhaps will the Patriotic Front go with a special purpose vehicle in the elections of next year? There's a quote that I got as I started this program. It's from Davison Mungandu, and it's been quoted as having said, "I come from the opposition and I can assure you that there's nothing there." And this obviously is coming in from Davison Mungandu, who has endorsed President Hakainde Hichilema. Chumaka, this is what the Patriotic Front are saying, that there's no opposition, and he's assuring President Hakainde Hichilema and the Zambian people that there's nothing in the opposition.
Well, I mean, if you look at what has been happening within the Patriotic Front, I think it really brings a lot of conversations. If we look at the different wrangles, even just the leadership of the Patriotic Front at the moment, you have on one hand Mr. Chavinga, you have now the other side where you see acting president given Lubinda and the rest of the team. So it seems like there's a lot going on within the Patriotic Front. And we really, again, have one side of the Patriotic Front that has also gone into an alliance with the UPND. So him saying that, I think not surprising coming from him, seeing that we've also seen the party make certain pronouncements and also put certain sanctions on some of its members, and he's been one of them.
Chanoda Ngwira is our guest. He's Chisefo aspiring member of parliament. Also, he's spokesperson for Modzi Kumawa, as well as a long-serving member of the Patriotic Front. He calls himself a diehard member of the Patriotic Front. Mr. Ngwira, thank you so much for making time to be with us on Diamond Live tonight.
Thank you so much, Andrew, and thanks, Chimwaka, for giving me this opportunity. And of course, thanks to Diamond TV for us to have a chat on what is happening in my beloved party.
Your member of parliament, Davison Mungandu, says there's nothing there in the opposition. He's assuring President Hakainde Hichilema, and apparently he's endorsed him ahead of the elections next year. What is happening in the Patriotic Front?
The table manners demand that when you're eating, you don't talk, because if you talk, a lot can happen. He's eating, so I think it's better to just ignore him. Let him practice his right of endorsing whoever. But to say that there's no opposition, for me, opposition is not Patriotic Front. Opposition is not Tonse Alliance. Opposition is not Zambia we want. Opposition is not Zambia must prosper. No, it is the Zambian people that are the greatest opposition to Mr. Hakainde Hichilema.
Just on that point, when you say he's eating, what exactly do you mean?
You see...
Are you not eating yourself?
I'm not eating because the economy is bad. And you know, if people cannot handle hunger properly, what do? They become careless, just like Honorable Davison Mungandu is becoming so careless. If he really is to be honest with himself and to the Zambian people, he cannot say that there's no opposition. Because opposition is not, like I've said, political parties. No. It is the people themselves.
But do you agree that you come from a club called the Patriotic Front?
I come from a club called the Patriotic Front. And the Patriotic Front that I'm coming from is not the paper that Chavinga has. It's actually the people themselves. As you can see, I think I was watching the other day when you were interviewing, is it last night, Mr. Mwamba? Just like he put it to say, it's not the paper, it's the people. If today Chavinga stands up and say, Chanoda, I want you to do this. I'm instructing you as party's president. I can't listen to Chavinga. It's not possible. But if today, Honorable Governor Lubinda tells me to say, take this direction and do this,
that's
definitely.
Not true. That's not true because...
Wait. I'm still talking once. I'm going to do that because he is the man that, you know, the structures have. I know where you are going and I'll respond to that. He's the man that, you know, is holding on the position of acting president. Or in short, the people are holding the Patriotic Front, not a mere paper that Mr. Chavinga claims to be moving with or around with.
Where's your allegiance?
My allegiance is to the Zambian people. Anything against the Zambian people, it doesn't matter where it is coming from.
And I'm going somewhere with this because you come from a club called the Patriotic Front.
Yes.
You already have established leadership.
Yes.
Your party secretary general is Raphael Nakachinda. Your party acting president is Honorable Given Lubinda. But you've been throwing jabs at these people. In fact, at some point, you did allege that they've been collecting monies from some people elsewhere. And in the recent past also, you've been going against their directive. The party made a very candid directive that nobody must be campaigning before we bury President Hakainde Hichilema, before the party goes for a convention. Yet you've decided to undermine the authority of acting president and the authority of SG Nakachinda.
I'll be honest with you, I've got so much respect for my acting president, Honorable Given Lubinda. And of course, I have got so much respect for my SG, Honorable Raphael Nakachinda. However, I don't agree with those sentiments of stopping people from democratically practicing their rights. There's no clause in the constitution of the Patriotic Front that stops people from endorsing anybody. I think the two leaders, and I must apologize to them if at all they get offended, are doing what I can call politics. Honorable Given Lubinda has been going around Mumariro, he's been going around my structures, including SG Nakachinda before his, of course, incarceration by this brutal regime. He's been going around, and obviously we know that Honorable Lubinda is going to stand, and there's been meeting structures. You can't stop Chimweka from doing the exact thing that you are doing. That directive of stopping people from endorsing anybody, you can't stop them. I'm not in any structure. I don't belong to any committee in the Patriotic Front. I'm a sympathizer. Of course, the Constitution is very clear who a member or who can be disciplined and all that is. It's the people that have got, positions in the PF and all that. Me, as an individual, I cannot be stopped from endorsing Brian Mundubile to take over the party. Andrew Chimweka, it is these same delayment that made the likes of Chavinga and the Mao Sampa then grab this party. We are not going to stand and sit and relax and watch our leaders again going to the same direction when we just have got few months, to go to the elections. We are not going to accept that. We must tell our leaders. Being a leader doesn't mean that you are a know-it-all person. No. So basically what Honorable Lubinda is doing, I can't talk about Honorable Nakachinda because he's in jail now. What Honorable Lubinda or Ambassador Mwamba are doing are basically politics, because both of those are candidates. They want to stand. Emmanuel Mwamba wants to stand. Honorable Lubinda wants to stand. So they are not the right people to start directing people at stop endorsement. No. Let Mundubile actually be applauded for what he's doing, because he's reviving the fire on the ground by interacting with the people.
Now, don't you think that with that trajectory, it's likely to cause division within the party? Because already it seems that camps are being created. Those who are in support of Mr. Brian Mundubile are gathering. Those who are in support of whichever other aspirant are gathering. And it might reach a point where by the time you have your convention, and if your preferred candidate does not win, then a lot of you who, or those who are supporting a candidate that did not win, will leave the party. Don't you think that that is what the leadership now is trying to avoid?
I'll be honest with you. It's normal in politics to have such assumptions and all that. But I was privileged to escort Honorable Brian Mundubile to go and file in his nomination as an aspiring candidate for the PF. Then it was acting SG, Honorable Chirangwa, who unfortunately is also jailed. They made a vow that whoever emerges a winner, they will support that person, and we are going to move as a family. If you don't, maybe you haven't followed the history of PF, I'm sure you understand. I want to tell you now, Chimweka, that PF is a party that I don't know, for some reason, no matter the confusions, but near elections, they just come together and just do it. We lost members like GBA, we lost members like Wachimba Kambui. Towards 2021, they came back. That is the organization that I belong to. So I can assure you, Chimweka, Andrew, you are
And
here.
interesting, the party was still in power at the time, which is a very, very important dynamic that we cannot ignore.
Yeah, of course.
But that is not the case now.
No, it won't happen. There will be no division. That is the reason why we are saying, Honorable Lubinda, we have so much respect for you and we love you very much, sir. You've done so well this far. But just go for a convention. And I'm happy that there are talks of having a convention. Let's go to the convention, open up. Let people choose a leader that they want. And I can assure you that as things stand now, sorry to say this, I'm not trying to be dramatic. I think Honorable Munduvire has been accepted beyond the patriotic front. And I'm sure even you people who are non-partisan are able to see the kind of lead I can see Chimweka smiling. The man has shown that he can unite not only the PF, but the Zambian people themselves. You understand? So let's just go for that man through a convention.
The guidance of the last Central Committee meeting that was held on the 6th of October, Mr. Ngwiro, was very clear. And you came up with resolutions that all of you must abide by, going forward. The first resolution you came about was, number one, that you need to inform the family of President Edgar Lungu and seek guidance from the former First family as the party seeks the way forward and the proposed General Conference. The committee was set up to urgently prepare for the conference, its date, formulate campaign guidelines and rules of engagement. The committee was further tasked to prepare logistics, structure, and modalities of holding the conference. The committee is headed by Lupososhi MP and chairperson of the party, Honorable Emmanuel Mpakata. Number three was to deal with the proposal to open up presidential campaigns beyond the 9 presidential aspirants that paid the 200,000 kwacha. This is inclusive of Honorable Lubinda, inclusive of Honorable Brian Mundubire, as well as Emmanuel Mwamba, the person you're making reference to. I've been seeing the videos of Honorable Lubinda moving around the country. Those don't seem to be campaign videos. Those are mostly he's been attending funerals. He was previously been accompanied by Honorable Brian Mundiwele, but now he's no longer been accompanied by Honorable Brian Mundiwele. Don't you think you're sowing a seed of disorganization within the Patriotic Front if you're going to suggest that Honorable Lubinda has been campaigning while stopping others from campaigning?
I'll be honest with you. PF is a big organization and different leaders, and the PF is everywhere. So if there is division of labor, I don't see a problem Brian Mundubire going this side, given Lubinda going this side to tackle the issue of them being together in the past. Coming to the issue of the so-called campaigns, they have said that Honorable Mundubire meeting structures to sensitize them or strengthen them or support them regarding the voter registration is campaigning. Then it means also those that probably are going to meet structures, maybe through funerals and all that, then they're also campaigning because there's no difference. I can tell you, I was with Honorable Brian Mundubire in Eastern Province. He never went there to campaign. He went there to attend the church program, and from there he says, I cannot...
It's a plus for Honorable Lubinda to campaign because he's acting, he's your president at the moment.
Because then at the same time, going into next year, President Hakainde Hichilema will still be Republican president in as much as he will be possibly a candidate as well, but he has to carry out his functions as Republican president. You cannot stop him. So it's not in the same vein that you have an acting president and he's carrying out his functions of keeping the structures together.
In short, you are saying that's what you are simply saying, because he's acting president, then he can stop others and him can continue using the position that he has. But the truth of the matter is this. I think it's different from the example that you've given with the Republican president. The best that should happen is what Edgar Chagwa did. When he said, I want to be PF president, he had actually left the position of Secretary General. He was Secretary General as we were going to the convention. He resigned, he stopped. So the best is that those that are acting, Honorable Lubinda, and the others, if at all Honorable Nakachinda is also going to contest, let them declare interest and level the ground. That is what is supposed to happen. Now, coming to what you said, or rather asked, Andrew, Honorable Lubinda has been on a mission to sensitize people regards the voter registration. He has been on a mission to revamp or revive, the structures across. And he started with, of course, Eastern Province, like we said. There were no issues there. Then he went to the Copper Belt. He went to Northern, and he went to Muchinga, and of course he was in Kafua yesterday and the like. So what has actually provoked people, especially these aspiring candidates like the likes of Ambassador Mwamba and of course any other, because I've not heard Honorable Lubinda saying that, but obviously for Ambassador Mwamba to issue that statement, it means it was sanctioned by the acting president. It's the issue of endorsements. You go and organize people, sensitize them on voter registration. You cannot stop them to say, no, Kanshi, leader. You can't stop them. And Honorable Mundura cannot stand and say, no, don't endorse me. It's not possible. These are politics.
At the same time, Semano Mamba is also an aspiring candidate.
Exactly.
He's one of those who had made a payment of the 200,000 kwacha to contest. But he agrees with the position of the party that it's not right for these campaigns to begin now. So doesn't that prove that that there is there's credibility in what he's talking about, because he's an aspiring candidate? No, he agrees with the position of the party, the position the party has taken, that people should not endorse or begin campaigns now.
Well, it could be that our brother, I want to be as careful as possible so that I don't sound like I'm attacking him. It could be that our brother has seen the fire on the mountain, and he's seemingly saying, I'm losing it. It's like you are saying to Fidire Munsenga, you understand? You know that I think my colleague is ahead of me, and there is this suggestion that let's drag him back. You who is behind, obviously you say, yeah, I agree. So probably my comrade, my Mboya, has found it very difficult to campaign online. Of course, you know that he's in exile because of what is happening in this country. But the truth of the matter is that nobody has stopped, including Honorable Grayford Mond. He's been meeting people. It's just that there are no endorsements. That's a fact. It's not just Brian Mundubire who has been meeting structures. Everybody has been meeting structures.
As a diehard fan as a diehard member of the Patriotic Front, obviously I did read out some of the resolutions that came out of the Central Committee meeting that happened on the 6th. One which is important is that you cannot go ahead and mobilize before we bury your president, Edgar Lungu, because that was your president before he died. And so do you think it's morally upright for people to begin to move around mobilizing when we haven't put to rest President Edgar Lungu?
We are in a war, and we are in the battlefield. I do not think because a general has died, then those that have remained should also stop whilst the enemy is attacking. I think that is what is immoral. What is morally upright or morally correct is when a general dies, we sympathize, but we have to continue fighting, because if we stop, all of us, because the general has died, then we are giving an advantage to the enemy of, the people, the masses that are behind, that we're trying, to protect. So the issue of burial, how I wish the convention really happened after the burial. But unfortunately, as things stand, the matter is in court. We don't know the outcome of those court matters. So we can't wait in perpetuity. That's why there was that suggestion. Actually, before the Central Committee sat, I wrote on my page to say, why don't you engage the Lungu family for the sake of respect, out of respect and morality, why don't you go there and inform them that we don't know how long these court issues are going to take? Why don't you give us blessings so that we go ahead and because they are mourning. We are mourning.
There was a warning that was given just at the end of the statement, which was issued by Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba. By the way, Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba is a chairperson for information and publicity and is a member of the Central Committee. So he says that the Central Committee meeting will be held on Sunday, 2nd November 2025. Leaders of the party structures and followers like yourself, Mr. Ngwira, are advised to adhere to the guidelines so far provided and refrain from engaging in any illegal activities such as endorsements, as failing to do so would be to act in lawlessness in a lawless manner, and these fall in the clear realm of anarchy and indiscipline. You don't think you've been indisciplined on the show tonight by continuously endorsing Brian Mundubile?
I, Chanoda Fraxon Ngwira, member of the Patriotic Front for so many years and aspiring candidate for Chasef constituency, do hereby endorse the candidature and presidency of one Brian Mundubile. The issue of saying no lawlessness, which law have I broken? Which law has Kelvin Kaunda broken by endorsing Mundubile? Which law have the people from Mchinga, Copper Belt, Northern Province broken? Which part of the constitution
the law,
of the PF?
Well, it might not be written law, but the party structure, the highest body, the highest decision-making body, the Central Committee, has decided that these are the guidelines you're going to go by. And you members of the Patriotic Front that claim to love the party must respect these laws.
I don't remember a Central Committee that sat to make those resolutions.
But it's the 6th of October.
Those are the words of Ambassador Mwamba. And those were words of Honorable Raphael Nekachinda. I have never seen the last Central Committee did not even talk about issues of endorsement. It was not there. Maybe these things they're going now to issue them as they meet on Sunday. There was no meeting for the Central Committee. Maybe I don't know. But there was no such resolution.
There was a clear directive by Nakachinda.
By Nakachinda.
Press briefing. Yes,
no, but it's not. It doesn't have absolute power to start deciding on what is happening or what is supposed to happen. No. Ambassador Mwamba
is the CEO of the party. He's the CEO of the party.
Yes, sir. Even a CEO of a company, you can't just wake up and say, no, this is what is going to happen. No, it doesn't work.
Then you must probably, maybe you must join another political party if you're not ready to, follow the guidelines of what's been stipulated in this club.
No, unconstitutional guidelines must not be entertained. A good organization must be very constitutional. We must, much as they are saying that we are breaking we are doing what we are practicing lawlessness. Which lawlessness? According to what clause in the Patriotic Front?
According to the guidelines that they've given.
Where have they come from? Which resolution?
Of the 6th of October.
And who made that resolution?
The Central Committee.
Which 6th of October made that resolution? Where was the communication? We've just seen those things on Mwamba's statement. The resolutions of the October 6th Central Committee did not have those things that they are claiming, that they are talking about.
Let's touch another subject. You, as the Patriotic Front, generally have been accused to be a very tribal party. Tribal from the time you were in the ruling party to now that you're in the opposition. Even just a few minutes ago, you made reference to the people who made endorsements of Mr. Brian Mundubile. You speak of the Northern Province, the Mchinga Province, and so on. And not so long ago, when we saw the Tonse Alliance having a briefing, we're part of the Tonse Alliance having a briefing, we saw Mr. Brian Mundubile present, Mr. Sean Tembo, Mrs. Mumbipiri present there. And not so long after, we heard an audio of Mrs. Mumbipiri talking about how the Patriotic Front would succeed if there is a leader from either the Eastern Province or the Northern Province as presidential candidate, and from the same region as the running mate, and vice versa. This was highly regarded as a very tribal statement. Interestingly, you're part of the grouping Umozi Kumawa, and you're endorsing Mr. Brian Mundubile. What justification is there that really as a party you're not tribal? And further, especially that you are not in agreement of the leadership of Mr. Given Lubinda as acting president and Mr. Rafa Nakachinda, Secretary General of the party. How then do you justify that you as a party are not as tribal as your political opponents say you are?
First of all, I have never been against the leadership of these two comrades, Honorable Lubinda and the Honorable Nakachinda. I've just been against the way they've been doing things. And for me,
which is the leadership.
No, wait.
The leadership style.
I've not been against them holding those positions, if I may put it that way. Actually, I am so much in support of Honorable Nakachinda being SG because he really worked. And the Honorable Lubinda being acting president, it's something that is very clear. And it's constitutional in terms of who becomes acting when the substantive president dies or resigns. Coming to the issue of Honorable Mombipiri, are you telling me that President Hakainde Hichilema is tribal when he went with a political strategy of choosing Vanalumango to be the running mate? The answer is no. There is no tribalism or regionalism in political strategy, such as what Wamumbi suggested. If, for instance, we have numbers from the Northern Bloc, we mix with the numbers from the Eastern Bloc, definitely we're going to get greater, greater numbers to consolidate our win. I don't think that could be cited as tribalism. Then coming to the endorsements of Muchinga and all that.
What she said.
Wait, I have no issue with that. I even said it on my page that there's no tribalism in there. That's a very good political strategy. If today I want to become president, Andrew Mwansa, I'll force you to become my running mate because I know that you come from a region where there are numbers, and the province doesn't have one tribe. So how is it that it's tribe? It's definitely not. So we want to save the Zambian people. We want to save the Zambian people, and we need to use political strategy. And one of the political strategies is that which Honorable Mombipiri, I'm sure you know we are suffering. There is no electricity, Pano, so all of us are sweating here because there's no electricity. Do you want us to continue with this by making mistakes such as getting someone maybe from a province where there are lesser numbers and mixing them with another lesser number because of in the name of saying no, it's tribalism? No, it's not tribalism. That is political strategy. And the PF has never been tribal. But it's the UPND that are trying to justify their tribal politics. It's them who started. When Mazoka died, before I lose this thought, sorry. When Mazoka died, we saw the UPND leadership saying only Etonga can succeed Mazoka. That is what we call tribalism. So if Mombipiri says from the Bemba block and from we mix it with Eastern Province, there's no tribe there because Eastern Province we've got how many? We've got more than 7.
So let me ask you this question. So you think it would be a very bad political strategy to make Lubinda president and Nakachinda running mate because one is lost, one is stronger?
I'm not going to answer that.
Why?
No, how?
No, but based off your analogy,
no.
What you're saying is we can deduce that your answer is if you don't think so based on your analogy because you just explained that earlier.
I'll be honest with you. I'm not going to touch that.
But you've pretty much you've answered the question.
No, the truth of the matter is that PF is very strong in the Northern Bloc. It's very strong in the Eastern Bloc. Just like UPND is very strong in the southern.
So I think my question is very
in the southern thing. So I'm not disapproving. I'm not disapproving.
You said here earlier that you commend the leadership of Rafa Nakachinda because of how he's held the party together. All right. Based on that, if he says I want to be president today, and I don't care where I come from, I'm Zambian and I'm a member of the Patriotic Front, you will not agree with him because he's a Tonga?
No, I will not agree with him because I can't say that Nakachinda shouldn't be president because he's Tonga. No.
But you strongly believe that he comes from a place where you as a Patriotic Front will not get enough numbers, and that is why you feel he would not be a good presidential candidate.
Not at all, not at all. Those discussions are not even there. So if Honorable
That's what you
Nakachinda,
said earlier.
No.
But you insinuated that earlier.
Replay, so that
Because what you said is you have your strongest numbers from the northern part of this country
Yes.
and the eastern part of this country.
Yes.
And the fact that Mr. Bafo Nakachinda, Mr. Given Lubinda do not come from these blocks or these parts, these regions of this country, then they will not be able to garner the numbers that you as a Patriotic Front would want in 2026.
I'll be honest with you. They can. They can. Why? Because the stronghold of the party, it still remains. The numbers are still intact.
So that now, why are you supporting Mumbipiri's sentiments that we need candidates that come from these two blocks?
So my supporting is saying that or is justifying your claims. No, guys. That political strategy is a good one.
You agreed with her, saying that's a good political strategy.
Yes.
But at the same time, you're saying that it doesn't matter. Even if Mr. Given Lubinda or Mr. Rafael Nakachinda contested,
if they win,
they'll still be able to guarantee a win.
Yes, it's also a good strategy because you have combined Honorable Lubinda coming from the Western province.
Mrs. Mumbipiri's statement, according to you, is not exactly factual. It's not valid.
What do you mean?
It's not exact. It's not a fact based off what you've again said now.
I support. It's not a fact, or it is a fact, but her opinion, in my view, as Chanoda, looking at the political situation in Zambia, I think that mixture of a Bemba and an Easterner would make a lot of sense. Or if today Honorable Lubinda becomes president. Of course, I don't support his candidature, not because he's lousy, but I know he can't win us an election. That's a fact. That's a truth.
He can't win the PF an election?
No, he can't. Sorry to say that, but that's a fact. We need somebody. Maybe we'll come and talk about that later on. If Nakachinda today emerges victorious as PF president, of course, I don't support him because he also can't win us an election.